Hello everybody, MeNoHaxor here, bringing you guys a post-game commentary. And this is probably one of the first times, and maybe last time I'll do this. I'm only doing this because my microphone wasn't actually on when I was recording this, and so I can't really hear anything, except for the in-game sound and like the actual recording of the game. So I decided I might as well just fast forward through all the really boring parts, slow it down when we do something exciting, so I can explain my thought process and stuff like that. And now that I actually know what's going to happen in the game, I can anticipate things a little bit more easily, which is kind of nice. So if you like these kinds of commentaries now, let me know with like a like button or comment or whatever, so I know if you guys want more of these kind of things or just like me actually just doing commentary live. For Runes of Masteries, I am running 80 red, armor yellow, 6 CDR blues, and 3 MR blues, and then HP quint. And so, what's really actually really good about this game is that one, this is definitely like really high challenger level now because my MMR is actually really screwed up from placement matches. So like I'm like kind of like mid diamond, but my MMR is like literally challenger, which is kind of stupid. So I'm getting like a lot of like really strong people now, and so I definitely want to start recording a lot more of these games because these are definitely a lot more high quality than normal. And anyways, enough of me digressing. So we hit level 2 first, so I immediately jump in on Tristana, and this is what you always want to do on Thresh. Like you want to hit level 2 as fast as you can, so you can go in for a flay, and then immediately followed up by a Q. And we were able to burn the Tristana flash pretty much immediately. Like Mapletree couldn't do anything because he leveled up E first, and so we were pretty much able to get burn the flash. We didn't get the kill, but it's okay because burning the flash from Tristana early is really good because we also first force her to flash. And cause her to back off and recall. So now we're going to get a level advantage and a CS advantage over her. So we're pretty much going to delay her from getting really strong late game, which is what we really need to do since Tristana late game is definitely going to outscale us. Now, once again, I'm going to keep poking down the Alistar because like Alistar can't really do anything to me. Like he can't really get in range for a pulverize ever, as long as I keep my distance, so I'm just going to keep hitting him. Now, Alistar makes a really good play here, and Flash headbutts the Jinx back to the turret, and Jinx has to flash now, otherwise she would have definitely died. And so, she places some really nice traps to force Alistar to take more damage, but unfortunately, like, I should have placed my Lantern a little bit farther forward so Jinx could grab the Lantern instead of flashing out, but it's okay. But Alistar gets really caught out of position, and now we're just pretty much just gonna burst him down, like, immediately. And now I get the Lantern off the Jinx, so she's gonna back off now, and I also play both of them so that way they can't approach her anymore, which is really good. So that time, the Lantern is really good because I was really hoping that Jinx would be able to finish off the Alistar, so I trusted that she would, and so I decided that I would back off and throw the Lantern so that way, she could get out safely, if I get out safely because of the Lantern. So it sees Tristana's by herself, so I'm just going to play really aggressively and start hitting her. And Nunu's going to circle from behind, but we are able to kill her before Nunu can get close to us. He starts going for Jinx, which is kind of a bad decision because I'm just running away now. And now I'm going to play the Alistar closer to us. I flash the headbutt to get away from the turret, which is good. And I'm going to ignite the Nunu, but unfortunately he does flash over the turret, kills me off, and Jinx does not get the reset, unfortunately, because she didn't hit Nunu once, I think, which is kind of weird. And if she got the reset, there definitely would have been another kill on Alistar, but not too big of a deal. We ended up trading my death for 2 kills, which in the end is kind of worth it. And note that my itemization now is that I'm going to rush a Talisman, and I'm rushing a Talisman because now that we're really far ahead in lane, a Talisman would really give us a lot more opportunities to make plays, and for me to do pickoffs and stuff like that. So that's the reason why I went for Talisman over something like a Sightstone. And also with the 80 reds, I'm pretty much able to last it really easily under the turret. So that's why you should always run 80 red on Thresh. But I see 3 people are trapped, like pretty much sandwiched in our jungle, so I'm just gonna go ahead and play them. I play the Nunu, and we're gonna kill the Alistar for free. And now we're all just pinging at Dragon because right now is the time to take Dragon. Now that everyone's dead, like they don't have Nunu to consume or smite, so we pretty much got this Dragon 100% secured. Like I don't doubt Meteos like is a bad smiter, but you know who knows. And I do land a really nice max range Q on the Tristana, and we are able to kill her as well. So that's a free dragon, and their blue buff just respawned. So we're gonna go ahead and take that as well, which is a really big win for us, which is awesome. So unfortunately, top is just getting demolished, and we can't really do much about that. But Jace is gonna get really strong. You're going to see it's going to be really bad later. So here I make actually a really bad call. So I decided to go and engage on the Tristana, and I just completely mistimed the box. And luckily for me, I don't actually die here. I get really close to dying, but we are able to just kind of repel them off. I guess, like, even though you didn't really get anything done and I almost died, we ended up, like, denying some more CS to Tristana, just applying more pressure, I guess. But still, that wasn't really a good decision on my part. I kind of just messed up completely. And I actually should have just waited for my play, or saved it for my play for when Tristana used her jump, so that way I could deny her jump, and that actually would have been useful. But anyways, Alistar is going to go ahead and go in, I think really soon. Yeah, he's going to go in for Flash, Q, and then he's going to headbutt the Jinx, and at this point she's kind of screwed. But the York is able to get an ult off on the Jinx, which is really useful. So now she's just going to be alive, and she can just rampage through and just get a few kills. So we are able to trade Jinx for Tristana. Not like the best trade, but it's still 1 for 1. We got a little bit more system money than that. But Sion is running from the river, and I'm just screwed. Like, I can't run away from mobility boot Sion when I don't have boots at all. However, I do finish my talisman, which is good. I also buy a boot and a ward, so that way I can run faster and I can make a little bit more plays. What's really bad right now is that we lost top in mid turret, and so right now they have a lot of map control since Sion can just roam wherever he wants, and that's really scary because Sion roaming is really bad for us. Now, I'm going to try placing a few wards, but now at this point, I really need more wards because, like, Nunu and Sion roaming around is not good. Jinx got caught, but I bailed her out with the lantern, which is good. And that's why Thresh is really strong. Now, Sion is here, and I play the Sion, and for some reason, the dumb golem blocked my Q. So, Sion is going to be able to get the kill on a Jinx, which sucks a lot, because now that pretty much means that there's 4 people bot, and they're going to get this turret. I thought Zed and York are going to come save me, but they just farmed creeps instead, so whatever. I kind of died unnecessarily there. That was kind of my bad. I should have just backed off since the turret was pretty much guaranteed to be dead if no one was going to help me. If in a 3v4 situation, we probably wouldn't be able to defend, but they didn't really come, so it doesn't really matter. But now we lost 3 turrets, and now this is really bad for us, since even though we have like a dragon advantage and whatever, like we're still like losing in map pressure. And you can see right now, like, because we don't have the turrets, like Jinx is gonna get caught because like they're just a roaming squad now. And I try to help her, but I can't get there in time. Right now it's a 3v3 fight. Zed's gonna go in, try to kill Sion, but not really gonna be able to do enough burst damage yet. And I try to save the Zed, but he's just gonna get headbutted to death. And I have to flash right here, because if I don't, I'm gonna die. I land a hook on probably the worst person on Alistar, because now he's taking the turret, and he's just gonna pop his ult, and he's gonna be okay. And so I have to use Talisman to get Renekton and I out. And unfortunately, none of them die, and the rocket like barely misses them all, which is really stupid. So overall, that was a really bad fight for us because Jinx got caught, and now we're even more far behind because we're losing these early game team fights. And we just need to basically buy time because like we need time for Jinx to start getting like Bloodthirster and more items. And we also need Zed to get stronger to be able to one-shot everyone. And so right now we're kind of contesting the dragon right now, but it's kind of bad because we're split and like Sion just chugged me for like half my HP. But we're gonna see that like York is gonna get caught, but he actually decides to just man the hell up and just turn around and fight. Now what's really good about this is that he soaked up a lot of damage and is gonna respawn. So I'm gonna try to peel for Jinx as best as I can. And Jinx is gonna be able to get the kill on Tristana. I talisman so we can kill the Sion, and Zed is finally able to do enough damage to burst down the Sion, which is really good. So we ended up killing 2 people for the cost of York, but that's totally worth it because Nunu's not really healthy enough to steal the dragon from us. So that was an okay team fight, and we were able to get some more money out of that. So the gold difference is a little bit better, but we're still at a pretty big disadvantage because we lost so many turrets. So instead of getting the Lucidity boots, I'm gonna just go straight for a Sightstone right now because we desperately need wards, like super badly. So I have wards now, so I can start placing them around, and hopefully none of us are gonna get caught ever again. But that's kind of unlikely since Sion just runs so fast because with mobility boots. So at this point, like I really just want to make sure that my team stays alive. So I'm just kind of like floating around between all lanes, collecting souls when people do the jungle, and just making sure that like no one really dies, because they can do Baron really fast, even though it's only like 17 minutes into the game. So I use up basically all my wards right next to Baron, so that way if they try to cheese it, we can see them, and that way they can actually do the Baron, which will be really useful. And they can definitely do it really fast with Nunu, Tristana, and like Jace too. So that's actually a pretty scary team comp. So I see they're starting to group up around there, so I am gonna start running up towards that area in case they do decide to do the Baron. But it turns out they're just kind of just dancing around with us, and this is actually not really too good for us since we can't really fight them 5v5 because right now their Jace like chunks all of us for like half our HP in one poke combo, which is really bad. So they're gonna start pressuring and pushing towards mid, and so we kind of have to fight because like otherwise we're just gonna keep getting poked down. So they're starting to siege the turret right here, and I decided to walk up to try to put a box down, but Sion just DFGs me out of nowhere, and so I just die instantly. Jinx almost dies right here, but this is really bad because now that I'm dead, we don't really have a good way to CC them down. And so, like, they're just going to keep pushing, and they're not going to stop because they have Jace and they have Blood Boil. So they're taking down this turret really quickly, and Zed has to go in now and try to do something. Yorick goes in also, but they're just going to get blown up to pieces. And I finally respawn. I buy Lucidity Boots as I'm running, and trying to meet up with my team, and we're starting to repel them back. Sion goes in for the Jinx. I throw a lantern down, and then I immediately hook the Tristana, which is really cool. And now Tristana's gonna die because she can't get quite in range of the Jinx. My hook comes up again, and I Q the Jace, and we are gonna be able to kill pretty much all of them off. Nunu runs away. He's gonna recall in a brush right there, and we're all pinging. We all see him, and so I run, and I actually fail my flash, and because I didn't flash over the wall, I like got blocked off, which is kind of stupid. So if I was able to get the flash off over the wall, that definitely would have been a dead Nunu, but it's really not too big of a deal. So we're going to start to do Baron now because we know that they're all really low, and they all have to go back and either home guard back or just run. And if they don't home guard, we're going to do this. So we start doing the Baron, and note that my goal right now is to stop the Nunu from getting towards Baron, because if he consumes Might, we're screwed. So as soon as he flashes over, I flay him away from the Baron so he can't consume it, which is really, really big. Because now we are able to get that Baron with our Yorick's Might, and we are able to get a few kills, but now we kind of have to back off since Sion came back, and he's going to destroy us all. But no, luckily because I was able to buy enough time for meteos, he was able to smite the Baron successfully. We got the Baron, and we basically denied it to them, even though we all died. It's really, really good for us since denying them Baron is really big, so now they can't really do anything like that significant to us, because if they got the Baron, we would definitely lose the next team fight, hands down. But now that we stalled and took the Baron and basically denied it from them, we can basically stall the game for a little bit longer. Jay suicided for that inhibitor, which is going to start pushing mid lane, which is not good. But once again, since we took down Baron, they don't really have anything to do now, since they can't really like fight without the Baron buff. And so we can just sit here and just keep on farming forever, and that'll just be better for us since we'll eventually beat them out late game if we get to that stage. So, like, once again, just gonna keep farming. We just need to wait for inhibitor to be back up. There's really no need to rush to make plays or anything like that. We can honestly just keep playing really conservatively. I'm going to start warding the bottom side of our jungle, because now if you take a look at the mini map, our only outer turret left is at bot lane, and so I know they're going to try to start sieging it as soon as possible. So I'm going to start warding our jungle so that if they try to stay around that area, we are going to be able to see them and maybe be a little bit more prepared. Who knows? And I actually spend my money getting a Crucible because I figured that if Sion decides to DFG stun W somebody, I can probably save them with a Crucible, which would be pretty useful. So it's going to be a good pickup for me. Unfortunately, I don't land a hook onto the Tristana, but I see that Zed is going to go in, so I decided to talisman all of us, and we're just going to straight up fight right now. So I play the Nunu, I immediately stop his absolute zero, but unfortunately Zed dies immediately. And right now my goal is to just try to peel for Jinx to make sure she stays alive for as long as possible. It's kind of a stalemate right now, but we're slowly getting kills because I'm making hooks and landing plays. I ward that bush because I know Sion's there, but he just blows me up, which is so stupid. But luckily, since he wasted his stuff on me, my team is able to just stay alive for the most part, but our mid is just getting pushed in really, really hard, so we have to defend right now. And so we are able to all go back, save the inhibitor turrets before, or not the inhibitor turrets, Nexus turrets before they die. So we're still pretty much in this game since they weren't really able to accomplish much from that teamfight bot, which is really good. And our inhibitor just respawned, so now we're pretty much back on the same footing, but we have a lot more kills, a lot more gold, a lot more EXP. So our gold difference is really not that much anymore. And now we just have to wait for pickoffs or for Baron to come back up. So we decided to just wait for Baron, just kind of play it safe. I'm going to start warding up Baron once again because I know it's going to spawn really soon. And so I kind of placed like a green ward, a pink ward, and a green ward. And it's important to place a pink ward inside that brush, that middle brush right there, because that's a really, that it can scout like the entire area of her wards, as opposed to just putting it next to Baron or whatever, because you can always just sweep for Baron. So I think it's more important to place the pink ward there. So you can see that we see like a green ward right there inside that middle brush, so we can just kill it instantly. So that's always really nice. And now I see Sion's recalling, and right now we're like, okay, Sion recalled, we need to go do Baron right now, or at least force them to come to us. So we're gonna start just hitting Baron. And right now they're reacting to us, so they're all going to start to come closer to us. And we know that we can beat them in a fight if I land a good hook on someone. So we're kind of just dancing around now at this point. I throw my lantern in that brush to get vision of them since we can't really see. And now I see a good opportunity, so I'm going to hook. I landed on the Sion, and we're going to be able to burst him down instantly. Unfortunately, we lose Renekton, but it doesn't really matter. And I died too because Renekton wasn't alive. But it's okay because without the Sion, they can't really kill anyone. And so Jinx is pretty much going to be able to clean up everything, and we won that fight. We traded 2 for 3, which is really good. And Zed is going to go in and try to kill the Tristana, but he's just going to fail, because like Maple Street just outplayed him, so that's kind of funny. But overall, that's a really good fight for us, since we're getting Jinx really fed, and it's getting to the point where she can just carry us through every single team fight if we just keep her alive. So I'm just gonna start to itemize towards a Randuin's to just do more peeling and tankiness, to get more peel, get more tankiness, and to just keep everyone alive once again. So unfortunately they do get the dragon, but it's not too big of a deal since we decided we're just gonna push mid, since we saw Sun was bot and we saw that Tristana was top, so we do have a little bit of time. So I decided to go in and Q the Nunu. Unfortunately, he somehow lives, and Alistar gets a really good pulverize on 4 people. And so, unfortunately, Jinx just dies instantly because of Sion, and I'm just like, well, crap. But I am able to hook the Sion before he can do anything else. We were able to kill him. And we did end up trading 2 for 2 since we were also able to pick up the Jace, which is really good, since without Jace and Sion, like, they're nothing anymore. So we know they aren't really going to push for an inhibitor. But I do see Tristana's recalling, so I am going to hook her, get Renekton closer, but, I mean, at this point she's too far away since she just used Blade of Rune King and just ran, and I wasn't in range for a hook. That rocket actually hit her, which I was really surprised about. Like, Wild Turtle was like a ninja or something. He knew that Tristana was parking that that big Wraith camp, so that's really impressive, actually. But now we're gonna once again go back to Baron, since we know they're gonna try to take it soon, and we know we're getting to the point where we can beat them in team fights, so we can dictate the game into our favor. So I see Yorick is just going ham on 3 people, and meteos actually decides to just keep on going. He dies, but he respawns, and I'm gonna land a hook on Tristana, but I get pushed all the way back. Now, we're gonna get the kill on Tristana. We're also gonna get the kill on the Alistar as well, even though he's really tanky. A hook there in case the Sion decides to just try to do a cheesy play or something. But we are able to get 2 kills for 1, even though we lost to Yorick. And I think that was just a really good call of meteos to fight, because it forced him to waste a lot of spells on the Yorick, and he could just get reborn back to life. So that was actually a really good call on his part. Now, we're going to sweep through every single ward here, and this is really important, because now we see Jace is going to come in to check Baron. I land a really nice hook, and we're going to burst down Jace instantly. And this is really critical, because he also has GA. So his GA is also going to get burned as well, and this is really, really big. So now we're going to scare off Nunu, and this is the time for us to do Baron, since it's 5v4 and they can't really do much now. Unfortunately, like, Jinx grabbed the lantern a little bit too early. Now she's kind of just caught in a really awkward area. And so I'm going to try to go over the wall by hooking on the Alistar and just landing a box and just providing more peel for the Jinx. So Jinx does stay alive, and we're going to basically demolish their backline now, because I also landed a hook on the Sion. And that basically means that we got an ace. So they're all dead, and now we're just like, okay, well, let's just screw the creeps. Let's just run up and take their turret. So Renekton's going to soak up all that damage. We're just going to burst through everything, since as long as Jinx has a tank to tank the turret, we can just clear everything. So we're going to take also the Nexus turrets as well. But they do try to fight us, but no, Wild Turtle's just going ham, and he's just destroying everybody. Bring him back to safety, but not really necessary since at this point they're just screwed. Like we have Baron, Wild Turtle is super fed, and we're just gonna end up taking the game just from that one fight. So what's really important to mention throughout that game was that my goal, like for pretty much all the time, was just to peel for Jinx, always make sure she was okay, and also hook the Scion because if we killed the Scion, Jinx would be protected, and we would pretty much win every single fight like that. And so I think the biggest turning point of that game was when I flayed the Nunu away from that first Baron, because if they got that first Baron, we definitely probably would have lost if they all had that Baron buff. But luckily we got the Baron, so we were able to be okay. And then getting the pick off on that Jace and burning his GA was also a huge turning point since Jace basically was irrelevant from then on. So that was a really close game, and I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of commentary. Let me know if you guys kind of like this kind of commentary, if you want me to do a style that's similar to this for future videos, or if you just want to stick back to just live commentary for like the entire game. So anyways, that's pretty much it for me. See you guys later.